Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Valentine's Day. So today we're going to be going to the beautiful island of Grenada in the Caribbean and learning all about this amazing destination and a couple of the properties there. So we've got Emil joining us from the tourist board. We've got Fiona from Calabash, and we've got Kerry from Spice Island. So we'll be hearing about those properties, but we'll be starting off with Emil kind of giving us a bit of a tour of the destination as a whole. If you have got any questions, then please do feel free to ask throughout. I'll ask them to each of the presenters after their presentations. Also, if you're having any problems hearing or seeing anything, just write it in the question box and I can address that. But yeah, without further ado, I will hand over to you now, Emil, to talk us all through the amazing Grenada.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Happy Valentine's. Welcome to Grenada. It's Grenada, not Grenada. Grenada's in Spain.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
So it's a good thing that it's Valentine's, but we are Pure Grenada. And the acronym PURE stands for peaceful, unadulterated, rejuvenating, and easygoing. And it isn't just Grenada, it's Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So we're one uniquely authentic destination comprised of 3 islands. So I tell everybody that when you come to Grenada, you actually get a package deal. Now I have a short destination video here just to show you how gorgeous the island is. Oh man, every time I see that video, I fall in love all over again. But getting to Grenada is super easy. We have 6 weekly flights out of the UK. So we have Virgin that leaves on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. We actually recently added that Friday flight. So that's a seasonal flight. And Virgin leaves out of Heathrow. And we have BA that leaves out of Gatwick. And they go from Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. These flights are direct, and of course, with the long haul flights anyway from the UK to the Caribbean, especially for Grenada, they are dropped. So Virgin goes via Barbados and BA goes via St. Lucia. Yeah. Now, just to let you know about our unique islands, so it's Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, as I mentioned. So we are a geotourism destination, which is why we have things such as Granitang Lake, that's a dormant volcano. We have the Carenage, that's a horseshoe shape. We have pristine black and white sand beaches, refreshing waterfalls and crater lakes. I tell everybody that everywhere in the Caribbean has beaches and views, but Grenada has sea, sand, and sun and more. And we're a safe community. Not only are we located outside of the hurricane belt, but we have the lowest crime rate in the entire Caribbean region. And of course, Grenada is green, so we have bountiful vegetation. And also, we are the home of rum and chocolate. Now, mainland Grenada itself, as I mentioned, it's outside of the hurricane belt. Actually, our yachting sector is so good because of that. We just wrapped up filming that show Below Deck, so that episode came out on February 5th. So I'm hoping you guys get to go watch it. We are 133 square miles. You can actually go around the entire island in a day. We have a population of 110,000, and of course, the official language is English. Now, Carriacou, which is our sister island, the name Carriacou actually means the Isle of Reefs. But how do you get to Carriacou? And one good thing about Grenada is that you can come to the destination and do a twin center between Grenada and Carriacou. Now, getting to Carriacou is easy. We have the ferry that operates to Carriacou, and it takes about an hour and a half to get there. And by plane, it takes 20 minutes. But I always advise people to go with the ferry because that way you get to see a chance of the dolphins going across. But Carriacou is actually a dive destination. So the name Carriacou actually means Isle of Reefs. It's actually the largest Grenadine island, and it's an island that's rich in history and culture. So you still have things such as boat building traditions, Shakespeare Mass. People don't know this, but Carriacou actually appeared in a scene in Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's a really unique island. And then you have Petite Martinique, it was the other sister island, stone's throw away. Literally, there's one road that runs through the entire island, and the population is about 1,000 people on Petite Martinique. But the good thing about Carriacou and Petite Martinique is that Grenada is considered the gateway to the Grenadines. So what works is that people come to Grenada and then you sail via catamaran, or if you even want to go to Carriacou, you can then jump from island to island. So there's Sandy Island, there's Celine Island, and more. Now, what makes Grenada the perfect Caribbean destination? But really the question is, what doesn't make Grenada the perfect Caribbean destination? We're an island that's rich in history and culture. I mean, even the people have spice. We have an array of yearly festivals. We have our carnival, which is Spice Mass. We have our sailing regattas and more. We are the perfect destination for nature lovers. We have many trails and hikes. Actually, we have what we call our own Indiana Jones, which is called Simon Green. We have amazing dive sites, not to mention we have the world's first underwater sculpture park that I'll get into, but we are the wreck capital of the Caribbean, so which means that we have the most naturally sunken entire wrecks in the entire region. Yeah, and of course we're 3 islands, one unique destination. Grenada is actually the world's first culinary capital, and we do have the accolade to show it. I tell people that coming to Grenada, we have the keys to unlock any palate to the world. We are the home of chocolate. As I mentioned, we have 5 rum distilleries and 6 chocolate factories. We're one of the very few places in the Caribbean you can get a bean to bar process when it comes to chocolate. So that's really good. And of course, we're very aligned with conservation. We're having a dive and conservation festival. So that's just to let you know. So some of the things you can see when you come on island are the forts and the historic sites. Of course, you have the boat building traditions. You have the Shortney Mass, which is indigenous to Grenada and Grenada only. These are just some of our festivals. We have some of my favorite is chocolate festivals. So that's right around the corner. And one thing that we're big on here is doing a rum and chocolate pairing element. Yeah, and we have our Spice Mass, which is the 2nd week of August, a dive and conservation festival. And we just wrapped up what we call Kayak Mass. So that's Carriacou's Carnival. Now, everybody always asks, what's the best time to visit Grenada? No, I have a event calendar on the screen, of course, and then I have what we call our Spice Mass, which is our carnival calendar. So it's an episode in itself, so it needs a separate calendar altogether. But yeah, this is what we have happening event-wise for the year 2024. Of course, we'll keep updating this calendar, but it's all on our Pure Grenada website. Now, I just have to show you guys how unique our Spice Mass is, because I always say it's a 2-pronged product, right? Here we have this lovely young lady in her on the left-hand side in her costume, but then we have the creme de la creme of what Grenada's Carnival is, and their skin is actually covered with old engine oil. So Grenada Carnival has jab jab, and you only find that in Grenada and Grenada only in the world. Now, granted, everybody doesn't have to play with oil. You can play with paint, you can play with powder, but this is what makes us authentic in terms of that cultural experience. I'll let you know that once you start drinking, you don't really feel the oil on your skin. Yeah. But just to show you how we are the perfect destination for nature lovers, you can come to Grenada, go on open back jeep tours, go on the dune buggies, you can go trekking through the forest. Yeah. Now, this is what really speaks to our Pure Grenada. You can actually go to the springs and drink from the falls. I tell everybody, you want the perfect Instagram moment, go to Granatang, let a monkey run on your shoulder. Now, we do have these wild Mona monkeys. They're wild, but it tames when you come to food. So what you do is you hold a banana or a mango in your hand and they run up on your shoulder. Granted, you pay one price that your shirt stinks of monkey. Yeah. And to the top right, I have what you call Granada Lake there. And you have Simon Green pointing to it. He's what we call our very own Grenada Indiana Jones. Now, Grenada has over 50 waterfalls, but these are just some of my favorites. So we have Annandale Waterfalls. Of course, we have Seven Sisters Waterfalls. And these are, it's actually interesting because there's actually 7 pockets of waterfalls. And they're all pure, they're all untouched. It's just gorgeous to see. So, and we have Rainbow Falls, and then we have Golden Falls. And it's actually golden because the soil is sulfuric. Yeah. No, when it comes to water sports, I think we have it all, whether it's diving or whether you're a snorkeler like myself. It works. You can go kayaking through the bays or kayaking through the mangroves, or clear kayaking for that matter. I personally like clear kayaking because that way you get to see the reefs and the turtles and the fishes under you while you are doing that. So, as I mentioned, Grenada does have the world's first underwater sculpture park. And just like that picture I've shown you before with our Jab Jab character for Carnival, we've recently refurbished the underwater sculpture park and added 31 new statues in what we call our Cruel Carnival. I think this is one of those things that you just have to see in person. We usually host a marketplace every November, and I recently snorkeled this. So it's one of the most amazing things you'll ever see, but I guarantee that when the sun is out, when the sun goes down, it's a little scary under the water. And these statues were actually crafted, these new statues were actually crafted after actual Grenadians. So that's why they're so lifelike. Now, these are just some of the other things you can do. You can go bar hopping with Go Drive. You can go on a sunset cruise with Savvies. It's really a good experience, actually, because what they do is they give like a cheese platter and wine. Or you can customize it anyhow you want. You can let them add a rum punch or mojitos for what you like. Yeah. As I mentioned, we are the dive capital, and we have the most naturally sunken entire wrecks. Every single hotel on island has a dive operator that operates out of it. So whether you're a snorkeler like myself, or whether you're PADI certified, or whether you're an experienced diver, Grenada is the destination for you. And just as a FYI, we are going to be exhibiting at Go Diving Coventry Show from March 2nd to 3rd this year, so I'll be there. Yeah. These are just some of the other things you can do on island. You can go sport fishing, and of course I mentioned that you can go sailing. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. You can go sailing. Of course, you can go river rafting, and those are some of the other good things. Yeah. So this really speaks to why we're pure Grenada as well. We have 2 types of sulfur springs. We have a Cleverny sulfur spring, which I call a natural hot tub, and it's rejuvenating actually. And then you can go to the river spring, and then we have a Welcome Rock. And actually, on a clear day from Welcome Rock to the mid-right corner, you can see Trinidad peeking through the clouds. In 2022, we had Jane McDonald come to Grenada to do a Caribbean roundup, and she loved it. Now, Grenada is the world's first culinary capital, and we do have the accolade. I'll let you know, one of the things that makes our food unique is that we have fine dining. So I'll let Carrie and Fiona jump into that. So you can go to Spice, and they use all local ingredients at Oliver's, or you can go to Calabash at the Rhodes restaurant, or you can go to Tim's in Ansler Roach and Carriacou and get fresh lobster from the sea. We usually do a marketplace every November, as I mentioned. And this is what they had, but I had to show you guys how we move the marketplace. Amazing. So we are a chocolate and rum destination. As I mentioned, these are just some of the other things you can do. You can go on a culinary safari tour with Chef Belinda Bishop at the Tower Estate. You can make your own chocolate bar with Tri-Island chocolate. Actually, we just wrapped up filming ITV Lorraine 2 weeks ago. Thank you so much to Spice Island for accommodating that. Carrie will let you know about that. But one of the things we had to do on island was make her own chocolate bar. And this is Amy Dowden, who used to be on Strictly Dancing UK. And also we have Belmont Estate chocolate factories. They have these 50 feet long chocolate trays that you can go on and you show the chocolate being dried in the sun. As I mentioned, Grenada is one of the very few places that you can get a bean to bar process when it comes to chocolate, from them producing it, from them drying it, from us exporting it, from making your own bar. And we are the spice isle because everything has spice in it. All the food, even the chocolate, it has nutmeg. We're actually the second biggest exporters of nutmeg after Indonesia. So that's just to let you know. Yeah. In 2022, we launched a volunteerism program. As I mentioned, people aren't just coming to the Caribbean to lay on the beach anymore. So one of the things we did is that we launched a program to really connect the community to tourism. So under that volunteerism umbrella, there are 14 different programs. Some of my favorite are, you can go lionfish hunting, and the cool thing about that is that you get to cook your own catch. So just some of the other things on here as well is that you can go diving with the turtles at Celine Island, just off of Carriacou. Also, you can go to the Carriacou Oyster Bed Project. So we are an island that's big on sustainability, and I will show you guys how amazing it is. But I think out of all of this, one really good program, which is good for the environment, is that Grenada is a turtle nesting destination. So from April to June is turtle nesting season. And with Native Ocean Spirits, you can be part of that experience. You can book all of this online. We do have, when you go on our Pure Grenada website and you type in volunteerism, all of these programs pop up and they are bookable. You can be a volunteer or a spectator with Native Ocean Spirits. And I tell people, I prefer to be a volunteer, and not every day you get to touch a 1,000-pound leatherback turtle on its shell. So that's just some of the cool experiences. Now, one thing that makes us unique is that we have from the very top tier of luxury when it comes to product, like your Calabash and your Spice, and they all have their own twist, to like 473 Boutique, which is on the smaller side, much more intimate among Cinnamon, La Luna, you know. So I think we have a varied range of product for every type of traveler. Yeah, I just want to let you guys know about the new hotel products that we have coming up on island. So we have the Caribbean's first Six Senses, and they'll be having a soft launch actually from April to May. It was supposed to be open actually at the end of 2023. Of course, they're working on Caribbean time. Yeah. But of course, and then Silver Sands Grenada has a sister property called the Beach House, and they've actually just opened. So it would be 30 luxury pods, and it's a gorgeous property. Yeah. So that's the end of my presentation, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Great, thank you so much, Emil. And apologies everyone for my mispronunciation. I think it's I can blame being Australian. We tend to ruin ruin words. But yeah, I'm just making the end of the presenter now because we'll hear about Calabash next. We just had one person ask a question at the beginning about the underwater statues, but obviously you covered that, Emil, anyway. But if anyone does think of anything else they want to know about Grenada in general, then please do feel free to ask, and we can check at the end. But yeah, no other questions for now, so I'll hand over to you, Fiona, to chat to us about Calabash.
Fantastic. Thank you, thank you very much, Olivia. Can you see my screen and can you hear me okay?
Yes, all clear.
Perfect, great. Well, thank you so much for everyone who's joined us today for this webinar, and thank you, Olivia, for the organising. My name's Fiona, I'm from Van Isucker Exclusive, and we are here to tell you all about Calabash Hotel in Grenada. So as you can see from this screen here, it's a Relais Chateau property, so fabulous food and service, of course. So Calabash is only 10 minutes from the airport in Grenada. We have 30 suites in total and 3 restaurants. So as you can imagine, we have quite a high restaurant to suite ratio. I'll tell you more about that later. We have lots to do on our property as well. Floodlit tennis courts, a paddy dive centre on the beach, and a number of activities as well. So who comes to Calabash? Now, usually the sort of regular clients we've got
I don't
here.
think that the slides are moving. Have you been clicking?
I have. Okay, thanks for letting me know. How strange.
It looks like it's still, it's not like a big screen. Like it looks like it's just,
Okay, let me try again.
I think you need to put it on presenter mode to that little screen there right next to the toggle. Perfect.
yeah, there we go.
Can you see it now?
Yes,
Perfect.
perfect.
Okay, well let me just go back a couple of slides. My apologies. This is a new system for me to try out. So here we go. So this was my first screen. Welcome to Calabash. And then I was just telling you then, hopefully everyone could see that we have 30 suites around this lawned area here and a paddy dive centre on the beach as well. So who is our client? So we have couples, we have foodies. Most people are sort of, I would say, couples from their sort of 30s through onwards, really. We do welcome families, of course. The owners have children, but I would say it's more of an adult-focused hotel. There's no kids club here, but of course we can organise babysitting if you wish. So I told you before, we have 30 beautiful suites that have been recently refurbished. And I have a number of videos to show you each of the suites. So in our media library, which is www.van-isaaca.com/media, you'll find all of the images and videos for Calabash and our other hotels there too, including all of our suite tours. So all of the suites at Calabash are obviously suites. They're very, very large indeed. And this one is the lead-in suite, the West Side suite. These ones are the closest to the beach, but they also don't have a bathtub. Okay, so that's the West Side suite. So that's the worst it can be. So not too bad at all, really. So next we have the Junior Suite, which is the next room category up. These are located all around the resort, and they do have a bathtub. So next we have one of my favourite room categories, which is the pool suite. So in the back courtyard, as you will see, we have a small private pool for these suite guests. As you might have noticed, all of the suites have a nice table on either a terrace or a balcony. And as standard, we do serve breakfast for clients on the terrace of their suite every morning. If they prefer to go down to the beach and have it at the restaurant too, that's absolutely fine. So the next suite is the interconnecting pool suite. So you can take the pool suite separately, or you can connect it to the next door suite as well to make it a very large 2-bedroom suite. This one is very close to our communal pool as well, and quite close to the izakaya restaurants. So next we have a silent video, so I'll talk over the top. This is our Superior Deluxe Suite. It's been renovated in the last 6 to 8 months, so it's looking very fresh indeed. And then finally we'll have our last video, which is our Penthouse Suite, which is our largest suite on site. It has a private pool and can connect via a spiral staircase down to the Superior Deluxe Suite that you just saw. Brilliant. So as I'm sure you know, food is a very important thing for us at Calabash. We use as much local produce as we possibly can. As you can see here, we have Chef Ramsay's, and we are a Relais Chateau property, so incredible food and service. As I mentioned before, breakfast is served as standard on the balcony or terrace of your suite, but if you want a more traditional approach to breakfast, you can go down to the beach club. We can book Calabash on bed and breakfast, half board or all inclusive, so whatever your clients prefer. If they're big drinkers or perhaps they want to try all the different dishes on our menu, then perhaps all inclusive might be the best. But if they're looking to go out and about for food and drink in different places, perhaps half board or bed and breakfast would be a better option. Here we have the beach club, which is where you can come down for breakfast in the morning if you wish, and where we also provide lunch. Occasionally during the week as well, we also have dinner down here. Next we have the very famous Rhodes restaurant, which is known to be one of the best fine dining restaurants in the Caribbean. It used to be run by Gary Rhodes before he sadly passed away a few years back, but he was friends with the owners and we're carrying it on in his memory. It is quite important for guests to book Rhodes restaurant if they wish to eat here, but if you have guests that are coming from other hotels, then they are also welcome. But of course, a reservation is required. And then finally, our third restaurant, which is our newest restaurant, is a Japanese fusion restaurant called Izakaya. There are only 5 tables, so again, very important to book here, and it has a more laid back atmosphere. So here we just have an overview of the beach. We're in a bay, so even if it's a bit wavy just around the corner, chances are it will be very flat and very smooth sea here, so no waves. We do have a communal pool on site as well. It's this lovely infinity pool, which if you look off screen slightly to the left, Izakaya is right next to that. We have a small spa as well, which takes care of all the expected treatments, and we use LMS products here. We have 1 tennis court, which is floodlit. And of course, we have a lot of activities during the week, whether that's cookery classes, chocolate tasting, yoga, Pilates, or even rum tasting with a local expert as well. We have a PADI dive school on the beach, and when I visited last year, I did a fantastic dive around the sculpture park that Emil mentioned previously. So very easy to get to from all of the hotels on that stretch of Grenada. Of course, if there's anyone celebrating a special occasion, we can also offer private setups on the beach as well. So Emil told you all about how to get to Grenada, so I won't go over that in too much detail with you. But of course, it is a beautiful island, and these excursions can be organised directly with the hotel. The Garbutt's are the owners of Calabash, and they also own a chocolate plantation in the north of the country as well, where they make all their own chocolate. It's called Lester, and it's honestly some of the most beautiful chocolates I've ever eaten. If you fancy some, then please do look on their website, and the chocolate buttons are particularly good. They're almost the size of those cookies that you can see on the screen there. And let me just finish now with a lovely video, which is brand new, of Calabash. So just a reminder of the special offers we have. We have an extension to our winter offer. So for travel between the 9th of March and the 4th of April, we're offering resort credits, and for longer stays, even more resort credits. Then as usual, we have our November offer where you get a complimentary suite upgrade plus resort credit. And of course, our summer season upgraded meal plan offer where you get an upgrade from bed and breakfast to half board, and then the option there for all inclusive as well. So should there be any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help. And if you would like access to the images or video, please do get in touch or visit the media library, ban-isaaca.com/media.
Great, thanks, Fiona. We do have one question, which is actually going back to Emil's presentation, which is how long is the boat transfer to Petite Martinique? You're on mute, Emil. Sorry.
Martinique is a 5-minute boat ride from Carriacou, actually. I'm not seeing these questions in the chat, sorry.
That's okay. It's I think because I'm the host, it comes up for me. So that was that question. We've got another question, which is, are there any issues with sargassum? Sargassum?
Oh, sargassum.
Seagrass or seaweed?
A couple of months ago, yes. Now, no.
Okay, perfect. And then someone's said, Calabash looks fabulous. Are there any indoor dining options with air conditioning?
No, just thinking that off the top of my head, no, I don't believe there is. So Rhodes Restaurant is very much an outside feel restaurant. Izakaya the same, and the Beach Club the same too. So no, there isn't a dining option with air conditioning. Of course, you can have in-suite dining if you'd like, but it is very breezy with the sea coming in, so it doesn't get too hot in there.
Perfect. And one more question was, how far in advance do clients need to pre-book restaurants?
At Calabash particularly, so we always hold space in Rhodes Restaurants for our in-house guests, but if they want a particular time, and it's always better to just book it on the day, is fine. If you're coming from other hotels and you want to try out Rhodes Restaurant, then a couple of days is usually fine, but it's always worth popping an email over if clients want to go beforehand.
Perfect, thank you. I think that's all for now. If you do think of anything that you would like to ask about Calabash during our final presentation, then please do feel free to ask. But now we will move on to the amazing Spice Island with Kerry.
Lovely, thank you very much for that. I'm hoping you can see my screen because I can't see what you can see, so hopefully all is good. I hope I can keep your attention for a little longer. Thanks for the great presentations, Emil and Fiona. For some of you that are online, I will have seen recently, so thanks for your attention today. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm Kerry from Clear Marketing, representing Spice Island Beach Resort. Now, hopefully you can see the screen here. This resort is definitely the most famous resort on Grenada and is very popular with the UK market. This resort has so many selling points, of which I will go through, but one of them is that we're just so close to the airport, so a nice short transfer time. When you arrive on the island, you arrive at the hotel, you're met by this beautiful building which you can see here in front of you. Everything around Spice is beautifully manicured gardens, very well kept, and when your guests arrive at the hotel, they will always be met by either the owner herself, Janelle Hopkin, or one of the senior management team. So the guests feel like a VIP from as soon as they arrive. This resort is owned and operated by the Hopkin family. Many of you may have known of Sir Royston Hopkin. He sadly passed away in 2020. So the resort is now owned and operated by his daughter, Janelle Hopkin. And we still have the same general manager, Brian Hardy, who's been at the hotel for 24 years. So it's well loved, it's well established, and it just is suitable for many different clients. This resort is located directly on the famous Grand Anse Beach, which has already been mentioned. It's a beautiful stretch of beach. We're fortunate enough to be right on there. When you walk out of the hotel, if you walk towards the right, you can walk towards Silver Sands Hotel, and then there's a couple of little beach clubs along the way. And if you walk to the left, also there are other things along the beach as well. So whilst this is a premium all-inclusive resort, your guests don't feel confined into the resort. They can have a walk around, they can go to the beach clubs. walk along Grand Anse, or even behind the hotel, they can walk to there's a shopping area there, complex, so you really don't feel like you have to be in the resort all the time. Most guests do just stay there, but you know, I for one, whenever I visit, I always love to get out and about, so it's great to know that you can do that. This resort is a boutique. We only have 64 rooms, so it's a small, luxury, premium all-inclusive hotel. And it's perfectly suitable for couples, family, groups of friends. You know, year-round we are a family-friendly resort, but really anyone that values a simple but sophisticated resort. So it is high-end, but without being pretentious. It is relaxed but not completely casual, so people do make an effort to dress for dinner, and it's aspirational yet accessible. You know, it's widely bookable, it is well known, so it's not one of those that's completely out of reach. Now, I'm fortunate to show you this new image. It's pretty much hot off the press, no one else has seen it yet. The resort underwent a renovation last year, so the resort was closed for the summer, and we renovated all of the public areas of the hotel. So the first image you saw before, which is the arrival, you kind of walk through this area here, which has all been renovated, all new tiles, freshly painted, lighter, brighter, more contemporary than before. And then I'll show you the other areas. Now, as I said, we only have 64 rooms at the property, and half of which are located directly on the beach. So this aerial shot that you can see here, these rooms directly on the beach are definitely our most popular. These are our Sea Grape suites. So if your guest budget does allow for it, I would definitely recommend upgrading to one of these, because your guests can literally open the patio doors, step out, toes in the sand onto with the Caribbean Sea. For those rooms that are not on the beachfront, you can see here, this is why I always show you this aerial shot. You've got that little path in the middle, then set back just behind there are some of our pool suites. To the right of this image, just past the pool, that's where your main area is. Just further along than that is where we have our lead-in rooms. So it's really quite a small footprint. Everything's easily accessible. It's perfectly suitable for people with limited mobility as well, because there's very few steps, and other than one block, everything is all on one level. So this is the rooms I was talking about, the ones that are a little bit set back. If you've got guests that want a bit more privacy and seclusion, we have lots of space, but you're still just steps away from the beach. When we had the renovation this year, we did extend the courtyard, which you can see here. So we've got new lounge furniture. We've also extended the restaurant as well. And it's got a really lovely, just fresh look to it. We do have one main resort pool, but also 17 of our accommodations, so 17 of the 64, also have their own pools as well. This is another new image to share for you. So if you think back to that entrance that I showed you before, you walk through the entrance, and this is our lobby. So this is where you'll do your check-in. This is the lounge and lobby. This courtyard that you can see here, we've just had this vine entwined pergola over the top. So you're not kind of completely exposed to the elements here. This is where we serve afternoon tea daily, that is included. Just to the left of the image, that's our main restaurant, Oliver. To the right is the Sea and Surf terrace and bar. And as you can see the ocean from most of the public areas here on the resort. Now, in terms of the rooms, they're luxuriously appointed, it's multi-brown amenities, all of the facilities that your five-star guests would expect. Your complimentary Wi-Fi, your in-room Alexas, your Nespresso machines, so really just everything that you would expect. And as I said before, half of the rooms are on the beach, the other half are set back in the gardens. These are the Sea Grape suites that I showed you, definitely the most popular. Just steps away from the beach. When you open those patio doors, you have got your own private area outside of your room with your own reserved sun lounges, and then again just steps away onto the beach. For guests that want a little bit more space, we have got 2 suites within that area as well, which is our Royal Cinnamon and the Saffron suites. So these are for your guests who want a little bit more living area. So you do still get your king bedroom, but you also get a living area with a sofa bed and an equipped kitchen. Not that anyone uses the kitchen, because this is all inclusive. For guests that want a bit more, as I say, privacy and seclusion, but a more spacious suite, we have some of our Royal Collection pool suites, which is where I stay when I'm here at the resort. Then we also have our anthuriums, which is the second category up. These have small pools. And then this is our lead-in, the oleander garden suite. So as the name suggests, these do overlook the garden. They are on that garden side. But as you can see, beautifully appointed. What I love about these is that lots of them have 2 queen bed options. So they're very good for families. We can interconnect the king bed with 2 queens. So if you have got those families that want to know the parents next door, children next door with their own beds, then we can do that. One thing that I would say about Spice Island is, you know, like all hotels, no requests are ever 100% guaranteed, but I've never heard the word no at this hotel. You know, they're very attentive with their service. No demand is too obscure. And really, if you have got families that are booking particularly very early in advance, then the rooms do get allocated early as well, just so that we can try and accommodate those requests. Hopefully I've still got your attention for a little bit longer. Just moving on to the food and drink. As I said, we're premium all-inclusive. Both of our restaurants were just renovated at the closure this year. This is Oliver, which is our main restaurant. It serves breakfast and dinner. Now, dinner is a la carte, 5 evenings a week with a 6-course taster menu. So you can, you know, certainly go home a stone heavier, that's for sure. But the food is exceptional. It's Caribbean, Creole food with international influences, lots of meat, lots of seafood, but also caters very well for those with dietary requirements as well. The other evenings where it's not the full menu, we do have the beach barbecue once a week, and then also we have a Caribbean night as well. I always talk about the breakfast at this hotel because it's super impressive to me. Whilst it is mostly a la carte, there is a couple of sections where you can go and help yourself, because the property produce all of their own freshly baked pastries every day. We have fresh fruit, and what I love is that there are very few imports here. So, you know, you're not going to get strawberries and raspberries for breakfast, but what you will get is beautiful fresh mango, papaya, melon. There's fruits that have been grown on the island. We get yogurts with all of that Grenadian spice. You're going to get your cinnamon, your nutmeg, your ginger, all of those for breakfast, and then save room for the a la carte breakfast, which comes afterwards. We also renovated the Sea and Surf Terrace. So this is our restaurant, which is open for lunch every day. It's kind of a beachside grill. We have extended this restaurant, so it does now go out onto the beach. And we are looking, once this winter season is over, to be able to offer dinner here as an option as well. Excuse me. As I said, premium all-inclusive. This is your meals, your afternoon tea, premium branded drinks by the glass, cocktails as well. In terms of extras, we've got a lovely little spa, the Janissa Spa. The reason for the name, I always like to explain it, is that the 2 Hopkins daughters, Janelle and Narissa, their names put together is the Janissa Spa. We have individual and couple treatment rooms, as well as a great nail salon as well, and you can easily spend a day here. Excuse me. We have got a yoga pavilion down on the beach as well, and whilst yoga is not included, it is just that small supplement. We are family friendly year round, particularly for families with younger children. So those that want, you know, more of a low key resort, that it's not a big all singing and dancing resort with huge kids clubs. Excuse me. Our Nutmeg Pod is quite discreet. They do allow children over 3 as long as they're potty trained, which most British children are. And what I love about this is it's very much catered to who's in house at the time. So if you have a family with children and maybe mum and dad want to go for dinner one evening, they can put the kids here, and sometimes they will open until 9 o'clock at night. So it's pretty much free babysitting, ordering a pizza, set up a movie, and as I say, very much tailored around the guests that are in-house. Of course, a great destination for special occasions as well. We could do destination weddings. We're small enough to do a buyout if you would like. It's great for proposals, renewal of vows, or just celebrations. And I think probably our biggest selling point here at Spice Island, you've seen lots of things that you will love about it, but the people is a huge selling point. Not only is this resort family owned and operated, but they have loyal staff who've worked with the hotel for many years. So Brian, being 24 years himself, the staff are appreciated every year. Many of them have been very loyal. They're very well looked after. And you can tell the staff are really happy working here. The Hopkins family are also very prevalent within the community. They support the Hopkins Scholarship Foundation, is long established now, and this is where the Hopkins family personally finance scholarships for several children in Grenada. They also help underprivileged families at Christmas, at Easter, with celebrations, very prominent within local schools as well. So the local community of Grenada is incredibly important to the Hopkins family. So I do normally have a video to show you, however, we haven't had a new one since the renovations, so I'm not going to show you a video today, but I do hope that's inspired you a little bit, excuse me, and you know where I am if you do have any questions on Spice Island Beach Resort. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much for that, Kerry. We have mainly had questions from people just saying, can I get the presentation slides? I think probably from all of you guys, that would be great if I can grab those and I can send them over to everyone after the webinar. No questions on Spice Island specifically, but general things, just people saying, looks amazing, really love this product, that kind of stuff. So all very positive feedback. If anyone does think of anything after the webinar, then please do feel free to send me an email, olivia@hummingbird.travel, and I can check with the team and come back to you on any of those questions. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, Emil, Kerry, and Fiona. We've had a really lovely afternoon learning all about Grenada, and hopefully helping people to learn the destination a bit better. I think we've got quite a few people watching where it's quite new to them, so really great introduction, and two amazing properties that are in our portfolio. So yes, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day.
You too.
We all wish we were in Grenada celebrating instead of being in London.
Can I just say one other thing? Sorry, just before we wrap up. For any of the staff that have not been out before, we do offer a complimentary night programme. So if you're willing to travel May to October, perhaps early November, then we do offer 3 complimentary nights on an all-inclusive basis. So again, let me know, contact Pearpin Products about that.
Just to add on the back of what Kerry is saying, any staff going that are planning to stay at like Spice or even Calabash, if you are going, just shoot me an email and let me know before you go. I'm happy to give you a tour on behalf of the tourist board.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Fiona. Perfect. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Bye.